Hello, everybody, and welcome to Friday Apocryphal Podcast, your one-stop shop for everything Friday Apocryphal and podcast, and boy, do we have a show for you today. Today we are covering 3rd Enoch, chapters 41 through 46, and this is the penultimate episode.
Yeah, we're leaving 2 chapters for next week, and one of them is really long, but mostly because it has a lot of manuscripts to go along with it. It has a lot of different versions, so we're going to go over all of them, as is tradition. And when it comes to these chapters, they're not really all that long, but we'll make up for it next week. We'll have the 2 decently long chapters, and
the longest chapter in 3rd Enoch.
Yeah, and it's only the longest because it has so many manuscripts, so many versions.
Yes.
And then after that, we're going to talk about Enoch as a whole. All of the Enochic works.
Yes.
We're going to miss Enoch's readings. They've been so interesting comparative to some of the stuff we've had to endure.
That's true.
But just as in the Bible, he's going to be walking away, just taking a trip, and then we'll never see him again.
You're never going to see him again.
Except in references throughout Scripture and possibly other apocryphal.
And our fake lore that we'll write when we finally make some sort of show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
The New Testament. Wait.
No, they have that already.
Well, that's another testament.
Oh, sorry, that's another testament. Right?
But we could be like the New Testament.
Or how about the other New Testament?
They add super in usually, like with Mario, when they remake games and stuff or whatever.
It's because of the Super Nintendo.
I know, but then they still did that later. They
Wait.
So it would
we could do Super New Testament Turbo Championship Edition.
You know what? I'm fine with that.
Add more titles. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. Add more titles. That's all fine. That's all fine with me.
Yep. It'll be a fan fiction. Kind of like
it's gonna be like that's gonna be canon.
Okay. I believe you.
Good.
The Midrash are kind of like Old Testament fan fiction.
Yeah. I would say that. Either way, we got some Enoch stuff to cover today.
Yeah, we do. And as you all know, we're in the Enoch fandom.
Yeah.
There's the Moses fandom. That one's pretty big. The Ezra Nehemiah fandom is not
as big anymore, which is good.
Yeah. But that Jesus fandom is just ridiculous.
Yeah, that one's up there.
Have you seen their Tumblr accounts? Come on.
So Cole at fan club, I might be the only member.
Yeah. So I have the Books of Enoch Complete Edition by Paul C. Schneider's, translated by R.H. Charles, with terrible editing throughout.
It is very poorly edited.
Yeah. In fact, I would like a critical edition of this book, just so someone could point out in writing how awful the editing is.
So you want someone to have a critical edition of that translation?
Yes.
They would like commentary.
There would be like, I don't know what.
Every page would have something.
Yeah, but like not that much, not enough to justify it, I don't think.
After that, I'd like to make comments on those and make my own critical edition.
Okay, great.
Ooh,
so
we could do like a correspondence commentary where it's just people responding to what other commentators say, and it could be like a whole thing. You could have like letters back and forth, basically. I mean, they wouldn't be sent to people. They would be separate commentaries.
4 minutes of bad banter. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. So what book do you have?
I have the Old Testament Pseudepigrapha, Volume 1, Apocalyptic Literature and Testaments, edited by James H. Charlesworth, and the section on Enoch. I always forget who wrote it.
P. Alexander.
How do I keep forgetting about P. Alexander?
How could you forget about P?
Yeah, P is great. P. Alexander, thank you so much. Yeah. So, we can start with chapter 41.
Yes, and I will get us going. Chapter 41. Metatron shows Rabbi Ishmael the letters engraved on the throne of glory, by which letters everything in heaven and earth has been created. That's the title.
Great.
Rabbi Ishmael said, Metatron, the angel, the prince of the presence, said to me, come and behold.
Behold!
The letters by which the heaven and earth were created.
Now, of course, these letters, this is just the Hebrew alphabet.
This is the word.
Yeah?
This is the logos.
Is it?
This is.
I don't know if it's that one.
It's the letters by which heaven and earth were created.
Yeah, the alphabet.
The letters by which were created the mountains and hills. The letters by which were created the seas and rivers. The letters by which were created the trees and herbs. The letters by which were created the planets and the constellations. The letters by which were created the globe of the moon and the globe of the sun, Orion, the Pleiades, and all the different luminaries of Rakia.
I'm getting some really strong, like Entei and Arceus Unknown Pokemon movie episode 3 or whatever.
Arceus
Vibes.
wasn't in that.
No,
but
he wasn't. But they created the universe with
Did
words.
create it.
Yeah, it's the letters.
The
Now,
unknown are the letters.
Although I
Yeah.
like how yours says the globe of the moon and the globe of the sun, right?
yeah.
I have the orb of the moon, which is arguably the same thing, and the disk of the sun.
Oh,
Sons of Disc, guys.
different terms
Yeah.
must have been used there. The letters by which were created the throne of glory and the wheels of the Merkaba. The letters by which were created the necessities of the worlds. The letters by which were created wisdom.
I think I have a whole extra verse here. Or sorry, an extra part of a verse, I should say.
Wow.
So yeah, the letters by which the ministering angels were created, the letters by which the seraphim and the creatures were created, and then the letters by which the throne of glory and the wheels of the chariot were created.
That is interesting. I wonder why that wasn't in here. Maybe it's not in the manuscript that this guy used.
So A, E, and substantially F have it, but B omits it.
But this guy's been using A and other ones.
Well, then I don't know. I don't know why.
Okay. I think we've come to the conclusion that R.H. Charles and Paul C. Schneider's both kind of suck.
I mean, yeah. So R.H. Charles, he was, pretty early on in the history of biblical scholarship, like critical biblical scholarship.
Oh, so not like, pre-Middle Ages.
No. But he was like pretty early on. He was, a pioneer. This is just after the time of like Wellhausen, R.H.
This
Charles.
is
I
like
think.
an alpha of like what critical scholarship would become.
I
'cause
wouldn't say
clearly
alpha, maybe
it reads
beta,
like
maybe
it.
a beta. And
Okay.
I'm not saying that as the whole internet thing.
No,
but
I
like,
know, we
there
know
was
what
the
you
first version, which would be like the Wellhausen era, and then right after that, you would have like the same era as R.H. Charles.
Yeah,
so
so this is still the predecessor to one of our eras,
yeah, absolutely.
and that makes it feels old in that way.
Yeah.
Glitchy almost.
Charles, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
They were trying.
How dare you not have our modern understanding of critical biblical scholarship
Seriously, right?
Yeah, right.
in the Apocrypha? Pseudepigrapha. The letters by which were created wisdom, understanding, knowledge, prudence, meekness, and righteousness, by which the whole world is sustained. This is a contradiction with the Bible.
The letters by which wisdom and understanding, knowledge and intelligence, humility and rectitude were created, by which the whole world is sustained. That one? That verse?
Yes. Yes. Contradiction with the Bible. The Bible says that wisdom was present with God when he created things.
Yeah.
Maybe she was just first.
Well, here, wisdom is after creation, because the letters were already present, and through the letters, wisdom was created. So,
yeah.
yeah. So the timeline's messed up. And I walked by his side, and he took me by his hand, and raised me upon his wings, and showed me those letters, all of them that are graven with a flaming style on the throne of glory, and sparks go forth from them, and cover all the chambers of Araboth.
So, quick thought. This is before time. So, out of...
What does that mean, Chris?
Exactly. The order of events are convoluted.
What events before time?
Yeah, how can you have an event before
I
time?
don't know. Ask God.
You see, he's outside of time. Chapter 42.
Whoa.
Instances of polar opposites kept in balance by several divine names and other similar wonders. That's the title.
I like those polar opposites from before. The one, like the two angels, right? Where
Life
one
and death.
Yeah.
But they had all the same things.
The same thing.
They had everything the same.
Yep. Those are pretty cool.
How should I read this one? I'm going to do it like a youper.
Like a what?
Like a youper.
Upper Michiganer.
Oh, that's what that is? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So Rabbi Ishmael said, Metatron the angel, the prince of the presence, said to me, come and I will show thee where the waters are suspended in the highest, where fire is burning in the midst of the hail, where lightning's lightning out of the
This is actually kind of amazing.
out of midst of snowy mountains, where thunders are roaring in the celestial heights, where a flame is burning in the midst of the burning fire, where voices make themselves heard in the midst of thunder and earthquake.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I'm not going to keep doing that. It's
It was good.
it's too difficult to keep up there, Then I went by his side, and he took me by his hand and lifted me up on his wings and showed me all those things I beheld. The waters suspended on high in Araboth Rakia by force of the name Yahweh Asher Jah, I am that I am. And their fruits going down from heaven and watering the face of the world, as it is written, Psalm 104:13. He watereth the mountains from his chambers. The earth is satisfied with the fruit of thy work. And I saw fire and snow and hailstone that were mingled together within each other, and yet were undamaged by force of the name Ish-Okela, consuming fire. As it is written, Deuteronomy 4:24, for the Lord thy God is a consuming fire. And I saw lightnings that were lightning out of mountains of snow, and yet were not damaged or quenched by the force of the name Yasur Olamim,
So
Jah, the everlasting rock, as it is written, Isaiah 26:4, for in Jah, Yahweh, the everlasting rock.
So it's interesting that they take these, what in context they're supposed to be metaphors. Like God isn't a rock and he's not a fire.
No, but here they're literally interpreted
Yeah.
in those ways.
Or
maybe that rock with way too many titles. Remember that one?
there is that one. Yeah.
Yes.
Although I would say here that like if you have fire, snow, and hailstones enclosed one with another, so you'd think that the fire would melt the snow and the hail, right?
I propose
But no, because of through the power of the consuming fire. So they're using it poetically, but I guess within the poetry, it's supposed to be do you know what I mean?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's another word for that.
I am proposing a new sect of extremist Judaism where they take the term my rock literally, and every person in this sect carries around with them a rock, not a mere stone or pebble, but a rock, a big, like 30-pound rock. And
That's quite a big rock. Okay.
when they refer to my rock, it has to be your own. And that rock that each one of them is in possession of is interpreted as being literally God.
You know,
This rock is
That-
my rock. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Yeah. This
That-
God
that-
is my
that
God.
is-
There's only one.
there is that is an interpretation you can do. Although I like the idea that if they're, you can have this extremist sect, right? But their rock is really their guitar,
Oh no!
so they can rock whatever they
City
want.
was founded on rock and roll.
Yes,
it's not very
it was.
stable.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd be pretty good, right?
Yeah, they all have to walk around playing like AC/DC and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everyone would be like, "Rock on, man!"
Their psalms are all just like classic rock.
I mean, hey, that's way better than a regular psalm, right?
See, the church choir, well, the synagogue choir would just be people doing like "Don't Fear the Reaper."
Okay,
Always.
yeah, I could get down with that.
Always, they'd
Yeah.
always be doing it though.
Always. Because
Those
that
angels that never
it
stop
means
singing.
that they're in the presence of God.
I'd do that.
Yeah. You would convert to that religion.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
Rock and rollism.
Yeah, rock and roll, isn't that's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. And I saw thunders and voices that were roaring in the midst of fiery flames and were not damaged, silenced, by force of the name El Shaddai Rabbah, the great God Almighty. As it is written, Genesis 17:1, I am God Almighty. And I beheld a flame and a glowing flames that were flaming and glowing.
Wow. That's amazing writing. That glowing flames flame and glow.
Okay. I'm going to read that again. Okay. A flame and a glowing flames that were flaming and glowing in the midst of burning fire, and yet were not damaged, devoured by force of the name Yad al-Kasyah, the hand upon the throne of the Lord. As it is written, Exodus 17:16, and he said, for the hand is upon the throne of the Lord. And I beheld rivers of fire in the midst of rivers of water, and they were not damaged, quenched by force of the name Oseh Shalom, maker of peace. As it is written, Job 25:2, he maketh peace in his high places. For he makes peace between the fire and the water, between the hail and the fire, between the wind and the cloud, between the earthquake and the sparks.
So, the translation I have between tremors, earthquakes, and comets. So I guess all these things, he kind of brings them together. Things that we would think are not together,
Yeah.
like fire and ice,
Yeah.
water and fire. Amazing.
Yes. So with that, I will hand it over to you, Lawrence.
All right, so the souls of the righteous. This is chapter 43.
Yes, Metatron shows Rabbi Ishmael the abode of the unborn spirits and the spirits of the righteous dead.
All right, great.
Now, there's a Kabbalistic idea that there is a bank of souls, right? That the tree of life springs forth fruit, and that fruit is plucked by an angel, and that it is literally the soul whenever a child is,
Is that really
It's
the
the
idea?
soul tree.
yeah, soul tree from the tree of life.
Okay.
Of course, there's a finite amount. It's not an infinite tree. The angel only has so many hands.
But there are a lot of angels. In fact,
Some of them have a shit ton of hands.
and
Yeah.
some of them can just make new angels
By talking.
by talking.
Yeah. So maybe we'll see some of that in this abode of unborn spirits.
Maybe.
Now,
We shall see.
let's see you read this like a Uber.
I can't. I just
that's
can't.
too bad
not,
there, eh?
Not going to happen.
I believe in you, Lawrence.
You've got the potential.
I could
You
try.
can read that there chapter there.
Rabbi Ishmael
Any
said,
amount.
Metatron said to me, come and I will show you the souls of the righteous who have...
It's hard. It's hard, especially with this. Oh, it's great. Oh.
We're not doing that.
No, but it is a good aside to do occasionally.
Yeah.
Something like
Come and I will show you the souls of the righteous who have already been created and have returned. So the people have died. And the souls of the righteous who have not yet been created. He bore me up with him, and taking me by his hand, he led me to the throne of glory and showed me those souls which have already been created and have returned, flying above the throne of glory in the presence of the Holy One. Blessed be he. Then I went and expounded this verse and found with regard to the text, quote,
Isaiah 57:16.
Yep. The Spirit shall clothe itself in my presence and the souls which I have made. That the Spirit shall clothe itself in my presence refers to the souls of the righteous which have already been created in the storehouse of beings and have returned to the presence of God, and the souls which I have made refers to the souls of the righteous which have not yet been created in the storehouse. Okay, so that was a weird little exposition there.
Yeah.
Now that is the end of the chapter.
Huh. Short one.
So, okay, so you were just talking about this kind of thing before. So the storehouse of beings, storehouse is mentioned in a ton of rabbinical literature apparently. But Rashi explains the idea like this: there is a treasure house called Goop. I know.
Yeah, Guph here.
Okay.
That's what the chamber is.
Gotcha. Okay. And at
Your
the
goop chamber.
my goop
Yeah,
chamber.
everybody's got one of those laying around.
And
They
at-
got that there goop chamber, eh?
how's that Goop? There's a treasure house called Goop, and at the time of creation, all souls destined to be born were formed and placed there. So yeah, the Goop, a chamber like a body, the name for the special place for souls which are about to be born. Yeah, then there are a couple different definitions, it looks like, at least according to different authors. There's also, for example, here, a curtain which forms a partition between the Shekinah and the angels. And there are placed spirits and souls created since the 6 days of creation, which are to be put into bodies yet to be created. So, yeah, a few different interpretations there, but all essentially talking about this storehouse.
Yes. It's a place where souls are.
All right, on to the next chapter, chapter 44.
Metatron shows Rabbi Ishmael the abode of the wicked and the intermediate in Sheol. The patriarchs pray for the deliverance of Israel.
See, my title is a lot simpler.
Yeah.
The souls of the wicked and the intermediate.
Ooh.
Rabbi Ishmael said, Metatron said to me, come and I will show you where the souls of the wicked stand.
Yours doesn't have the formula? Rabbi Ishmael said, Metatron, the angel, the prince of the presence, said to me.
Oh, I mean, it has an errated version of the formula.
Weird.
Yeah, where the souls of the wicked stand and where the souls of the intermediate stand, whether the souls of the intermediate descend and whether the souls of the wicked descend. He said to me, the souls of the wicked are brought down to Sheol by two angels of destruction. That is interesting. So it references here 31:2. I don't know if that's Isaiah 31:2 if you want to check.
Well, I'm checking 31:2 in 3rd Enoch.
You could do that too. That would also make sense. By the way,
Yeah, there's angels of destruction here. That was the part where the angels of destruction fear and tremble.
Yeah. 2 angels of destruction. And then we have their names. Zaapiel and Samkiel. So Zaapiel's name is derived from wrath, Zaap, and Semekiel's from Semek, support. So wrath and support. Okay. Semekiel is in charge of the souls of the intermediate to support them and purify them from sin through the abundant mercies of the omnipresent one. Zaapiel is appointed to bring down the souls of the wicked from the presence of the Holy One, blessed be he, from the judgment of the Shekinah to Sheol, to punish them with fire and Gehenna. I'm guessing that's Gehenna, right?
Yeah, this is Gehenna in mine.
That would make sense. With rods of burning coal. I went with him, and, taking me by his hand, he bore me up and showed them all to me with his fingers. I saw that their faces looked like human faces, but their bodies were like eagles. Oh, we had that before.
Yeah.
Okay, so the souls possess a sort of spiritual body distinct from the ordinary physical bodies which they tenant during their earthly life. There's the idea of the astral body in Spiritism and the vehicle of the soul in Neoplatonism.
Yeah. There is, the astral body, thing that you use to travel through the astral plane.
No.
Oh, is that how I do that?
Yeah. Haven't you?
Yeah, but I guess I never really considered the body I was in at that time.
Yeah, you got this silver cord that goes from the physical body to the astral body.
Wow, movies really got that spot on, didn't they?
I know, right?
Incredible.
All of these film producers, they're all ascended masters.
They must be, because they're just spot on with it. I saw that their faces looked like human faces, their bodies were like eagles. Moreover, the faces of the intermediate were a greenish color on account of their deeds, for they are tainted until purified of their iniquity.
Pale gray.
Pale gray. You know what? That's actually really interesting.
Yeah.
So, yes, this greenish color and pale gray. I went over something a lot like that in what's it called? Was it in my Revelation video or was it in my Heavenly Horseman one? So it was the fact that the word, I don't know, I guess this, so the word, at least in Greek, for, that's used to describe one of the horses is, kloros,
which is sometimes green.
Sometimes green, but could also be just the color of it's also been described as pale, because it's the color of death.
Mm-hmm. So sickly. Really.
Sickly, yeah.
Sickly pale.
Yeah, so maybe that's where the confusion here came from. I don't know. That's just a guess.
Mm.
All right, so where was I? Right, so they got to be purified. For they are tainted until purified of their iniquity by fire, and the faces of the wicked souls were as black as the bottom of a pot because of the multitude of their wicked deeds.
Wow. That's racist.
I see that the author of 3rd Enoch found something wrong with black faces.
Yeah, what's up, Rabbi Ishmael?
Yeah, right, Rabbi Ishmael. Well, actually, hold on. No, this is Metatron saying it, right?
Yeah. But this is Rabbi Ishmael saying that Metatron said it.
That's true. Anyways, so continuing on here. The souls of the patriarchs. This is the same chapter, but just a different section. So it's good that we get to learn what happened to these guys.
Yeah, what happens to them? Of course, in Dante's Inferno, Dante's not canonical by anyone.
No.
But in Dante's Inferno, the patriarchs are in the first area of hell.
Oh, are they?
Because they came before Jesus came.
Oh, so they couldn't be saved.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure what happens in Inferno is that when Jesus was crucified during that 3-day time split, he goes down to hell and he rescues the patriarchs.
Wow, how kind of him.
Yeah, he brings them up to heaven.
Didn't was it Abraham or Moses that appeared when Jesus died? Or like, sorry, not when he died, but like at the
When
end
he goes
of the book.
up to the mountain, there's Elijah and Moses.
Yeah, it was Elijah and Moses. That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Matthew.
Yeah.
I don't know about other books.
We got some other ones to go through.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw the souls of the fathers of the world, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the rest of the righteous, who had been raised from their graves and had ascended into heaven. They were praying before the Holy One, blessed be he, and saying in prayer, Lord of the universe, how long will you sit upon your throne as a mourner sits in the days of his mourning, with your right hand behind you, and not redeem your sons and reveal your kingdom in the world? Do you not pity your sons who are enslaved among the nations of the world? Do you not pity your right hand behind you, by which you stretched out and spread the heavens, the earth, and the heavens of heavens? Have you no pity?
Wow.
They're
Mine
really-
says compassion.
That's fair. I mean,
Not
that works
pity.
too, but
Yeah, they're letting them have it.
yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Then the Holy One, blessed be he, answered each and every one of them and said, Since these wicked ones have sinned thus and thus, and have transgressed thus and thus before me, how can I deliver my sons from among the nations of the world, reveal my kingdom in the world before the eyes of the Gentiles, and deliver my right hand, which has been brought low by them?
Mine doesn't have that latter part, but I do want to point out that the wording here is a little different in this translation. Since these wicked do sin so and transgress with such and such transgressions against me, how could I deliver my great right hand in the downfall by their hands?
Okay, well, I mean, essentially still the same thing. Like, they keep sinning. How could I possibly?
Yeah, such and such, and
So, yeah. Thus and thus.
Them guys.
Like, so these patriarchs, right? They give like this scathing critique, and then God's like, but you know, such and such, and so, nah.
Exactly. All right.
Stay hydrated.
Yes. So yeah, they're sinning all the time. Then Metatron, the servant of Yahweh, called me and said to me, Take the books and read their wicked deeds. At once I took the books and read their deeds, and it was recorded that each and every one of those wicked ones had incurred extirpation 36 times over.
Yeah, 36 transgressions.
So why is it 36, interestingly?
Why is it 36?
Yeah, that's not a specifically, we have these numbers and themes and reoccurring things, but
How many letters are in the Hebrew alphabet?
Either 22 or 24, depending on the time period, I think.
How many letters are in the Greek alphabet?
Not 36.
How many letters are sent on a daily basis from credit card companies?
I think that's exactly 36, actually.
Whoa!
Moreover, it was recorded that they had transgressed against all the letters of the Torah.
Every single one of them.
Wow.
That's more than 36.
Wow, that's a lot. As it is written,
Daniel 9:11.
9:11.
Yep.
Wow. The whole of Israel has transgressed your Torah. That's not how that works.
Mm-hmm.
So hold on. Okay, so it does not say here, against your Torah, but simply your Torah,
No.
because they transgressed it to alep to taw, and incurred extirpation 36 times over for each letter.
So Aleph is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. Tal is the last letter. And here it's a little more straightforward. It is not written al Torateka, but et Torateka. Et is written Aleph and Tal.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's good wordplay, I guess. But no, either way. Okay, so it says that they transgressed against all the letters of the Torah.
Yeah. Right.
But then it goes on to say, the whole of Israel has transgressed your Torah. But that's not how that works. Like, if you transgress the Torah, that doesn't mean that every single law is being broken.
No, that's the wordplay here. See, like al Torateka would be saying like, oh, you've transgressed the Torah, right? But when they say et Torateka, because et is the Aleph and the Tal, they're saying from the beginning to the end, right?
I see. Okay, gotcha. But yeah, 36 times over. We have that again.
Mine is 40.
Yeah, I was gonna say. There's the note here is that some other manuscripts have 40 instead of 36.
And now we're really losing the significance of these numbers.
Yeah, right.
How many letters? How many alphabets have 40 letters?
I have no idea. Like, of all time,
Yeah.
maybe one. I don't know.
Exactly
You could
40
include
letters.
punctuation and numbers.
Those
maybe.
aren't
You can
letters.
include pronunciation markers.
Oh, we can include pronunciation markers.
Yeah. Why not? That's part of the written language.
I
right?
guess, but they never count as other letters.
Why not?
Well, how many phonetic
Okay, because-
letters are there?
I mean,
in
I
English
guess.
even.
Well, in English, there's 26 letters.
Oh, phonetic letters.
So
E
Well,
would
there's like modifiers that get added on.
Yeah,
to
if you look at
letters.
how we write out words, for pronunciation purposes, there's more ways to write our language. And there's the phonetic writing. And you can look at that to see how many different symbols there would be for if we did distinguish between everything.
Right.
I guess, yeah.
Like in Hebrew, they don't include the vowels, but you could include the vowels. You
What's
could say
this
those are
language?
letters.
$J$ has?
Yes. Okay. So I guess there's one. That's something. Thank you.
Ah.
Aha!
So that's they're talking about them. Okay.
Ah.
So like if I were to do like okay, so in Greek, for example, there could be letters with like circumflexes over them or like the accent marks, right?
Mhm.
You could have those. So if we'd include those letters, then yeah, I guess it would be approaching 40.
Mm.
If you want to include those as different letters, but I don't think anyone ever really considered them different letters.
I don't know.
Yeah, the only reason I would say that is because that's how other languages get extra letters usually.
Yeah.
Either way, at once Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob began to weep. Then the Holy One, blessed be He, said to them, Abraham, my friend, Isaac, my chosen one, Jacob, my firstborn.
What?
What?
This is just wrong.
Yeah, this is just wrong
Yeah, that's. I mean, so
on multiple levels.
So Abraham, okay, fine. Abraham, my friend, Isaac, my chosen one. Yeah, because Isaac and Israel.
You were supposed to be the chosen one.
They all were.
It was said you would destroy the Edomites, not join them.
Yeah, I guess. So then, yeah, Jacob, my firstborn. Okay.
Jacob's not even the firstborn to his actual parents.
Right. I don't know why they have that.
Wrong.
That was never. I don't think that was ever a signifier for Jacob in the Torah.
Right.
Jacob has a second name given, right? So
Israel,
Abram
maybe? No.
becomes Abraham.
Yeah.
Does Jacob have a second name
But he
given?
became Israel.
Does he become Israel? Because if Jacob becomes Israel, then that would be an explanation of why he says my firstborn, because he would be the first of Israel, right?
So it's interesting that they would have Isaac as my chosen one.
Might have been Isaac that got turned to Israel. I don't remember who got.
Well, Isaac was chosen to be a sacrifice.
Yeah, yes, to be a sacrifice.
What a great thing to be chosen for, isn't it?
You know, and he's up here with God, right? And God's just like rubbing it in.
Yeah, I guess. So anyway, how can I save them at this time from among the nations of the world? Like, they're already dead, though. Thereupon, Michael, the prince of Israel, cried out and lamented in a loud voice, saying, Lord, why do you stand aside?
Psalm 10:1.
Yeah, I guess. But now
Why is Michael the prince of Israel?
I don't know.
I don't know. Let's see the note on this.
And it's Mikael.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, Daniel 12:1.
Daniel 12:1.
Yeah, and there's looks like there's a rabbinical text where Michael pleads for Israel before God as well.
Daniel.
Yeah, 12:1.
12:1. At that time, Michael, the great prince who protects your people, will arise.
Okay, so yeah, in this case, it's just they just straight up made him Prince of Israel.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Now, see, that's the end of the chapter.
Yes, and now we head into chapter 45, and I'll take over from here. I know it's a rather long chapter.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Only 6 verses, but like 3 pages.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Of commentary?
No.
No, not of commentary. It's
Long verses.
yes.
Very long verses.
And kind of dumb verses too, so.
Yeah.
Take some deep breaths.
So let me tell you. Metatron shows Rabbi Ishmael past and future events recorded on the curtain of the throne. Yeah. All right. Rabbi Ishmael said, Metatron said to me, again, not with the complete formula, come, and I will show thee the curtain of Macomb, the divine majesty, which is spread before the Holy One, blessed be he, and whereon are graven all the generations of the world and all their doings, both what they have done and what they will do till the end of all generations.
So apparently this curtain is the heavenly counterpart of the veil which divided the holy place from the Holy of Holies. So if you remember,
Yep.
back in the tabernacle.
Yeah. And here we have confirmation that fatalism is real. They have no free will.
Nope.
This is everything that's going to happen. What they've done and what they will do.
Yeah.
Till the end. It's a really big curtain. And I went, and he showed it to me, pointing it out with his fingers like a father who teaches his children the letters of Torah. And I saw each generation, the rulers of each generation, and the heads of each generation, the shepherds of each generation, the oppressors, drivers of each generation, the keepers of each generation, the scourgers of each generation, the overseers of each generation, the judges of each generation, the court officers of each generation, the teachers of each generation, the supporters of each generation, the chiefs of each generation, the presidents of academies of each generation, the magistrates of each generation, the princes of each generation, the counselors of each generation, the nobles of each generation, and the men of might of each generation, the elders of each generation, and the guides of each generation. And I saw Adam,
So
his generation.
Just so we're clear, that was verse 2.
Yes, that was verse 2.
And it reminds me a lot of, even though it's not as annoying as it was to read before. But do you remember that chapter with the angels? You know,
crowns?
Yeah.
yeah, they were crowning the next one, and
Or no, they take
they were
off.
prostrating.
They remove the glorious crown from their head.
Yeah, they bow to the next one basically.
Yeah.
So
How could I forget such a wonderful reading?
yeah, so
Oh,
this kinda reminds
there's
me of
more.
that.
It happens over and over again in this chapter, Lawrence. And I
Oh,
saw
I see that.
I saw Adam, his generation, their doings and their thoughts. Noah and his generation, their doings and their thoughts. And the generation of the flood, their doings and their thoughts. Shem and his generation, their doings and their thoughts. Nimrod and the generation of the confusion of tongues.
Wait,
And-
hold on. I don't have Shem anywhere.
No, all I do.
That's interesting. So I have Adam and his generation, then Noah and the generation of the flood, and then Nimrod.
Oh.
So,
Well, mine has Shem.
well then.
Nimrod and the generation of the confusion of tongues, and his generation, their doings and their thoughts. Abraham and his generation, their doings and their thoughts. Isaac and his generation, their doings and their thoughts. Ishmael and his generation, their doings and their thoughts. Jacob and his generation, their doings and their thoughts. Joseph and his generation, their doings and their thoughts. The tribes and their generation, their doings and their thoughts.
Wait, hold on. You have Joseph too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have Joseph.
Oh.
Well, I need to know what you're doing and thinking right now.
Amram and his generation, their doings and their thoughts. Moses and his generation, their doings and their thoughts. Aaron and Miriam, their works and their doings.
Wow.
The princes and the elders, their works and doings. Joshua and his generation, their works and doings. The judges and their generation, their works and doings. Eli and his generation, their works and doings. Phinehas, their works and doings. Elkanah.
You know, this is interesting how it changes from. So yeah, it goes. I have it as deeds and thoughts, but then it goes to deeds and acts.
Yeah.
That is an interesting little shift.
I noted that.
Right.
But the thing is, I know you did, but the question is, why does it do that? And it doesn't seem.
Because you can't read these people's thoughts anymore. There's too many. How could you read that many thoughts?
I guess, but like you
One
would
at a
have,
time.
you had a lot beforehand too, right?
Yeah, but not as many. I mean, population growth.
I guess.
I also like how people contemporary with each other are counted as different generations.
Seriously.
Like Isaac and Ishmael. And
Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. Like there's Moses and his generation, and then Aaron and Miriam. They're the same generation.
Joseph and the tribes.
Yeah.
Okay.
This guy did not know when things happened. Or
Yeah.
who Jacob was related to.
Apparently. Elkanah and his generation, their works and their doings. Samuel and his generation, their works and doings. The kings of Judah with their generations, their works and their doings. You can read all about that. And
Oh my gosh.
What's the
The
phrase?
book of the kings,
Kings
of
of Israel.
and
The
Israel.
book of the something of the king. The book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah.
and Israel.
No. The kings of Israel and their generations, their works and their doings, which you can read about in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel.
Okay. Both which have been lost.
Yep.
So feel free and read those.
Yep. Anytime. The princes of Israel, their works and their doings. The princes of the nations of the world, their works and their doings. The heads of the councils of Israel, their works and their doings. The heads of the councils in the nations in the world, their generations, their works and their doings. The rulers of Israel and their generation, their works and their doings. The nobles of Israel and their generation, their works and their doings. The nobles of the men of the nations of the world in their generations, their works and their doings, the men of reputation in Israel, their generation, their works and their doings, the judges of Israel, their generation, their works and their doings, the judges of the nations of the world in their generation, their works and their doings, the teachers of the children of Israel, their generation, their works and their doings, the teachers of the children of the nations of the world, their generations, their works and their doings, the counselors, interpreters of Israel, their generation, their works and their doings, the counselors, interpreters of the nation of the world, their generation, their works and their doings, all the prophets of Israel, their generation, the works and their doings, all the prophets of the nations of the world, their generations, their works and their doings, and all the fights and the wars that the nations of the world wrought against the people of Israel in the time of their kingdom. And I saw Messiah, son of Joseph, and his generation, and this is in quotes, and their works and their doings that they will do against the nations of the world. And I saw Messiah, son of David, and his generation, and all the fights and wars and their works and their doings that they will do with Israel, both for good and evil. And I saw all the fights and wars that Gog and Magog will fight in the days of Messiah, and all that the Holy One, blessed be he, will do with them in the time to come. And all the rest of the leaders of the generations and all the works of the generations, both in Israel and in the nations of the world, both what is done and what will be done hereafter, to all generations until the end of time, all were graven on the curtain of Macomb. And I saw all these things with my eyes, and after I had seen it, I opened my mouth in praise of Macomb, the divine majesty, saying thus, Ecclesiastes 8:4.
That's the best book.
Yeah.
For the king's word hath power, and those who say unto him, What doest thou? Whoso keepeth the commandments shall know no evil thing. And I said, Psalm 104:24, O Lord, how manifold are thy works. What a chapter.
Oh. See, mine actually continues.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it says, Lord, what variety you have created, and great are your achievements, Lord.
Wow.
Doesn't really add anything,
Oh,
but it's there.
it's there.
I think you added 32 seconds.
Yeah. No, not even.
No.
Not even close.
Not even close,
I'm probably
baby.
closer to like 5 seconds.
Well, you know I have horrible time dilation.
Oh,
Sorry.
you
I don't
should
think that, no.
get an antipsychotic to help with that.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
It could be a problem.
Sounds like a problem to me.
It's
But you know what
better
isn't-
if
reaction
you had
time.
a very time-based task.
It actually is easier.
No, not if it required exact timing.
Oh,
Did you want me to do these last two?
I don't know. I've been getting better at
No, we're
Elden
only
Ring.
doing one more. We're doing 46.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And I
then
can do
47,
it.
48. Okay.
I can do it.
How long is it?
Not very long.
All right.
Chapter 46.
And it's nowhere near like that last chapter.
The place of the stars shown to Rabbi Ishmael. Rabbi Ishmael said, Metatron
Oh my God.
sent to me. Come and I will show you the space of the stars that are standing in rocky and night by night in
Why are
fear
you
of
like
the
this?
Almighty. Come and I will show thee where they go and where they stand.
Why are you like this?
I'm messing with Chris's time dilation.
It is not doing as much as you think. I get used to it easily at this point. But I will give you some applause. Here you go. buddy.
Walked by his side and
This is horrible.
yeah, it is.
Not messing with me at all.
And he took me by his hand and pointed out all to me with his fingers, and they were standing on sparks of flames round the Merkaba of the Almighty Macomb. What did Metatron do? At that moment, he clapped his hands. Do the thing. And chased them off from their place. Forthwith they flew off on flaming wings, rose and fled from the four sides of the throne of the Merkaba, and as they flew, he told me the names of every single one.
Oh, here we go.
Wait, hold on. Immediately they flew up on wings of flames and fled to the four sides of the throne of the chariot, and he told me the name of each of them.
As it is written, Psalm 147:4, he telleth the number of the stars, he giveth them all their names.
So,
Teaching that the Holy One, blessed be he, has given a name to each one of them.
you know, it's going to take a while for him to name all the stars.
Yeah, but luckily we don't get to see that.
Luckily, yeah, otherwise we'd be here for a long time. And we'd get very lost.
Yes.
Maybe if Landon were here.
We'll see there's sun.
Moon.
It's not a star.
It is now.
Fuck.
Oh man, you now
We
know that if they ever do a re-release of Pokemon Sun and Moon, it's gonna just be called Pokemon Star, like they
Pokemon
did with
Stars.
Platinum.
Yeah.
And
Better than, what is it? Violet
And Scarlet.
oh, those are the new ones, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they're not even things. They're just colors.
They're red and blue again.
Yeah, red and blue are colors.
Look,
You just went back to the
Violet
OG colors.
Violet is not blue.
No, I know.
And what about green? Huh?
They have green
Yeah, they have green,
and
but
leaf green.
but they don't have Pokemon. What do you, chartreuse?
I
That'd
would,
be
I would like
something.
that in terms of the name, but the color itself is gross. Like I
Look,
love how it sounds.
If
that's
it
all.
were Pokemon chartreuse, I would buy that one.
What about Pokemon Indigo and Orange?
Look, they can't have
Crimson.
Indigo because the Indigo League is already in Kanto.
That's a good
And
point. That's a good point.
Because the
well, what
Orange
if it's a crossover
Islands,
with Kanto and the Orange Islands?
well, it'd be about time, actually.
Thank you.
But they kind of already did that in Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Yeah,
Pretty
they
much,
kinda
yeah.
did.
I mean, the Orange Islands are not the Sevi Islands, but and
More
the
Pokemon
Orange
lore
Islands
than
were a
Bible
lot.
lore today.
Look, the Orange Islands were a lot cooler than what we got in Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Yeah.
Hey, there's like a few more sentences. And they all enter in counted order under the guidance of, literally through by the hands of, Rahatiel to Rakia Hashamayim.
What?
HA dash SH capital SH Amayim. Hashamayim.
He's right.
They are all counted into the Rakia of the heavens by Rahatiel.
Yeah. Under the guidance of Rahatiel to Rakia.
Remember Rahatiel
Hashamayim.
Yahweh, guys? Isn't he the one that speaks angels in?
Hold on. Okay.
Rahatiel Yahweh was the one that talked angels.
No,
in.
that was Rodwuriel.
Rod Wuriel.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was a R word. My bad.
So continue on. I'm just gonna read the
To
rest.
serve the world.
Yeah. Okay. So I have of the heavens by Rahatiel to serve the world,
Mhm.
and they are counted
And
out.
they go out in counted order to praise the Holy One, blessed be he, with songs and hymns, according as it is written, Psalm 19:1, the heavens declare the glory of God.
Okay, so-
But in the time to come, the Holy One, blessed be he, will create them anew, as it is written, Lamentations 3:23, they are new every morning. We already had a reference to that. And they open their mouth and utter a song. Which is the song that they utter? Psalm 8:3, when I consider thy heavens.
Wow. Okay. That was where that ends for you.
Yep.
So, yeah. What is the song they recite? I look up at your heavens made by your fingers.
Nice.
A lot of really important stuff is done with God's fingers.
Yeah.
Giggity.
Oof.
There was that section in
Giggity goop.
there was a section in Daniel, right, where I think it was in Daniel, right, where the hand comes out and just writes on the wall.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually say that it's God, but
I mean, you see the writing on the wall.
yeah. Either way,
Well, next week, we're finishing Third Enoch.
yeah, finishing Third Enoch.
Be sad. And
It's a wild book. There's a lot of angels and a lot of fire, a lot of numbers that don't quite make sense, sizes that are kind of inconsistent.
Crazy. Fucking planet-sized wings and
The wings are the size of planets and heavens, so we should assume that the
Some of
Earth
these
is the
things were
size
just-
of a heaven.
yeah, we finally stopped having insane proportions. We're dealing with other things towards the end here.
They've already established
So we're
the
finally past the apex of that craziness getting crazier.
Yeah, they already established the insane proportions, so they don't really have to talk about it anymore.
No. But like some of these guys who had their crowns and whatever have some insane purposes in God's hierarchy, and the order of who's in charge is incredibly convoluted outside of the really orderly, and his house 1 goes to his house 2, and his house 3 goes to his
Yeah.
Very well ordered. And you know what?
Oh right, and there's all these mutants,
Yeah, with hundreds of eyes. Yeah, that's true.
crazy monster
In
angels.
fact, they're and all of their eyes are also made of fire.
It's really intense stuff. Why isn't this in the Bible?
I thought too scary. I don't know.
Yeah. This is like a spin-off horror movie version.
Unfortunately, I don't think we'd be able to realistically do this in like a show if we produced it, because this would be
Make
hard
paper
to.
mache crap.
I mean,
It'd be very, very poorly done.
Yeah, and that might be the only redeeming thing we can get out of our low budget.
I guess.
imagine
yeah.
how different Renaissance art would have been if this were canon.
It would have been way more badass.
Yeah.
But and we learned about the spirits of the dead and the ones that haven't been born yet.
Yep.
How they're
In the
just
storehouse.
Yep, they're just chilling in the storehouse right now.
Yep. They're waiting.
Yeah. Either way, that's the reading for today, and
We have a Patreon.
we do have a Patreon.
We also have an Amazon wish list.
Hey, all links are in the description.
We
for all this stuff.
also have an email address.
We do.
And then we also have
Shirts.
shirts. And that's a hoodie.
That is a hoodie. That is a Drive 666 hoodie.
Yeah.
I think that's a good hoodie. That's
and
a good
for
shirt.
the next 666 drive, Lawrence will live as an ultra-Orthodox Jew.
That's
for
not
a
going to
week.
happen. That's not going to happen.
He's doing the Thoreau thing, that David Thoreau thing, where he goes into the woods for like a long time and writes poetry. That's what he's gonna do.
That's what I'm going to do.
Henry
Yeah, it's way
David
better.
Thoreau.
Yeah, Henry David Thoreau.
I don't know if I'd be very good at that.
That's okay.
Your poetry would be awful, Lawrence.
Well,
It would be awful.
because of how much you hate poetry. You would write poems like, I hate poetry. It is not for me.
See, that's why he has to first attend a class on proper poetry etiquette and like haikus and stuff.
Haiku's
I mean,
easy.
yeah, haikus are easy. There's this one dude on Twitch.
But they
who
always
does
come
really
out
good ones.
bad.
Lawrence is a bitch. Seriously. Fuck that guy. He is
Dumb.
so stupid.
Thank you.
It's syllable space. Very well.
Very well done. Very well done. I don't know. Maybe we could just put that on a t-shirt and sell
Turn
it.
that into the diss track.
Oh,
You
you
could just use that.
You should take that haiku and do it in like, that really flowy cursive font,
There are a lot of flowy cursive fonts.
like in bright pink, like what you might see on like a wedding invitation type thing.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
Okay. Yeah, they're pretty good.
All right.
All right.
Well,
Either way, I'm still getting that the shirt for this month designed.
Yeah.
Just been taking a while, but I did take your idea, Chris. It was a good one.
oh, thanks. The bird thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, that
I'd
one's
like to see what an artist would do with that.
yeah. So that one's still being worked on. But whenever it is done, yeah, I'll be sending that to Landon, right? Because Landon won. But either so we're gonna be doing the t-shirt giveaway on Sunday.
Yeah, next
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yep.
And, we might see you then.
Yeah. Hope to see you then. Thanks for joining us. All the links in the description.
We will
see you on Sunday. We'll definitely see you then. You should be there. You have no reason not to be there. Like, share, and subscribe.